Hello, this is Arun Bagel and now I am going to start Karma, and this is part 4 of chapter 2 of Karma. The destiny debate and the astrology argument. So what about fate, destiny and kismet? Do these play a role in determining our lives? Are the words relevant at all to our understanding of karma? It is time to demolish some myths right away. What you call fate is just a life situation you have created for yourself unconsciously. Your destiny is what you have crafted in unawareness. If you become 100% conscious, your destiny becomes a conscious creation. If you remain unconscious, you fall back on words like fate and providence to describe your predicament. It is as simple as that. For every actions that we perform, there is consequences. Whether the consequences bears fruit today or tomorrow or 10 years later is irrelevant. The point is that it always bears fruit one way or another. So, some deeds you performed unconsciously many years ago may have their consequences today. You may choose to call it fate, but you could just as well call it your karma and your responsibilities. If you are diagnosed with hypertension right now, you might think, oh, why did this happen to me? Why me? Why not my neighbor? What most people don't acknowledge is that they have spent years of their lives routinely losing their temper. In modern society, it is considered perfectly natural to get angry 5 times a day. People can always find reasons that seem perfectly justifiable. But after years of doing this every day, is it any wonder that so many get high blood pressures? After years of polluting our planet and refusing to change lifestyles, is it any wonder that so many other diseases are rampant in our world today? Are we not collectively responsible for these? The fact is that people make their own lives and societies write their own self-destructive narratives. But we then try to pass the buck to God or destiny. That may be convenient, but it is foolish and immature way to exist. Since fate is your unconscious creation, it is extremely important that every aspect of your life happen consciously. Otherwise, you could go about poisoning your life without a clue about the damage you are inflicting on yourself. This brings us to a related question. If we determine the course of our own lives, then what about astrology? What about all those people who have had amazingly accurate predictions made about their own future? What is the significance of the natal charts or horoscopes, as I call them, that so many lives their lives why? If the business of fortune telling has endured for so many centuries, surely there must be some truth to it. Now, astrology is simply a way of plotting certain possibilities in a human lives. If I look at you because your karmic trajectory is immediately apparent to me, I am able to say, okay, given your natural tendencies, this is the direction your life will take. There is nothing profounded about this. Astrology is simply a possible roadmap for a life that takes into account your tendencies and inherited traits. But consider this scenario. 1,000 years ago, if you were a seafarer and the winds were blowing east, you would go to east. Maybe you wanted to go to America, but you would end up in Japan. That was inevitable. The winds decided your destiny, not anymore. Let the winds blow whichever way they want. Today, we still make sure we go where we want to go. We propel our own lives. We don't allow the winds to push us this way and that way. Similarly, with the life process, if you are self-propelled, we say you are on a spiritual path. If you are being pushed around by your accumulated tendencies, your habits and your prejudices, then you are at the mercy of your horoscope. Traditionally, families in India turn to horoscope because this would indicate a person's tendencies, karmic substances, the possible direction their life might take. Based on the astrological reading, a person would turn to a spiritual practice that enabled them to transcend these tendencies. But somewhere along the way, we dropped the technologies of transcendence and got stuck with just the horoscope. This is an unfortunate state of affairs. The spiritual practice is, by definition, always about taking your destiny in your own hands. If you want to fly, you might look at the weather. which way the winds are blowing, whether the rain clouds are coming your way, whether the low pressure areas are, and so on. Traditionally, people turned to astrology for the same reason, but the aim was always to write one's own destiny, not allow it to be written by one's inherited predispositions and vasanas. The legendary story of Markandeya in Indian mythology is a testament to the determination to take charge of one's own life. Although his early death was predicted, his courageous young man tempted over his own death. While he did seek grace to overcome his death, learning how to become available to grace is also karma. The legendary story of Markandeya in Indian mythology is a testament to the determination to take charge of one's own life. Although his early death was predicted, this courageous young man tempted over his own life. While he did seek grace to overcome to his death, learning how to become available to grace is also karma. This is what it means to be spiritual. It means that you are now willing to take the very process of life and death into your hands. It means that you now say to yourself, it doesn't matter who my forefathers were, what my karmic substances is, it doesn't matter what my past has been. I have been decided the way I'm going. I have determined that I am moving towards my liberations. The horoscope was in any case meant only to be a way to navigate around possible obstacles. It was never meant to be a life script to be blindly followed. In fact, if you are on a spiritual path, authentic astrologers will never make predictions for you. Being spiritual means you are committed to charting your own destiny. When you are on such a path, what you are essentially saying to the world is, I am not windblown. I am a self-propelled.